They prepared for every possible challenge, every twist within the rules they controlled, but nothing could have readied them for this. You didn't act like a player. You acted like a force beyond the game, stepping into a role they had no understanding of, a god in motion. Everything they held as absolute shifted the moment you made your move. Before we dive further into how this transformation unfolds, pause for a moment, hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 30,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11. These small actions send a signal, a reminder that what's happening isn't coincidence, it's alignment. Now, watch closely, because they were never prepared for the power you just revealed. This moment captures the profound truth that real change often arises when we break free from rules and expectations. Systems, authorities, and traditions can seem unshakable, but when someone refuses to be constrained by them, an entirely new reality begins to unfold. It reminds us that life, at its deepest level, responds to courage, creativity, and the willingness to rise above limitations. Growth, connection, and awareness emerge not through dominance, but through vision and fearless transformation. I believe this is a powerful reflection of human potential. It's a reminder that the greatest victories don't always happen through confrontation. They happen through reinvention. Witnessing someone step beyond the confines of authority, expectations, or fear is deeply inspiring. It evokes hope, challenges complacency, and encourages everyone to explore possibilities beyond the obvious. The impact isn't just immediate. It resonates, shaping what comes next in ways no one could anticipate. For ages, systems of power have thrived on certainty. Strategies, hierarchies, and plans are built to anticipate every possible reaction. Yet there are moments where even the most calculated structure falters. This is one of those moments, a situation that no force, no matter how ancient or advanced, could foresee. It reminds us that even the most precise planning is limited by imagination, and reality has a way of surprising those who cling too tightly to control. When we consider history, we see examples of this everywhere. Think of scientific discoveries that shattered old paradigms, or leaders who challenged norms in unexpected ways. They didn't attack the system directly. They simply moved in ways the system couldn't predict. That sudden deviation has the power to shift entire societies, opening new possibilities where none existed before. The emotional weight of such moments is profound. There's awe, fear, excitement, and a deep sense of liberation. Systems built to dominate suddenly seem fragile, and those who dare to step outside the expected feel a surge of freedom that is nearly impossible to describe. It's a reminder that innovation and courage can ripple across even the most rigid structures. This concept applies not just to cosmic forces or abstract powers, but to everyday life. Each time we make a choice that defies expectation, whether it's pursuing an unconventional path, standing for truth, or simply thinking differently, we challenge the assumptions that shape the world. These choices might appear small, but they can have far-reaching consequences, altering the trajectory of communities, societies, and even global movements. Ultimately, it's a testament to adaptability. The moment someone acts beyond expectation, the world must respond. Systems cannot ignore the unpredictable. They must evolve, recalibrate, and rethink everything they thought was absolute. This is where true transformation begins, and it starts with courage. There is an unparalleled power in leaving the confines of the rules entirely, Rather than working within a system, this approach moves the focus to creating a new plane of existence. It's like leaving a chessboard to invent a completely different game, one that is not constrained by strategy, hierarchy, or precedent. The effect is electrifying, creating possibilities that were unimaginable before. Emotionally, it's both terrifying and liberating. To step outside the familiar requires courage because the safety of rules is no longer available. Yet that very act of leaving the old game behind is what ignites growth. It's the first step toward transformation on a scale that defies the ordinary, reminding us that the world responds to boldness in ways that subtle rebellion never could. Examples abound in human achievement. Inventors, artists, and innovators often succeed not by improving existing systems, but by abandoning them altogether. By refusing to play by established expectations, they create movements, technologies, and ideas that change the course of history. This teaches a powerful lesson. Sometimes, the most effective action is not to fight, but to step entirely outside the arena. On a personal level, leaving the old game means refusing to let limitations define your life. Finally, it emphasizes the beauty of adaptability. The systems that once held absolute sway are forced to acknowledge that transformation cannot be contained. Stepping beyond the game is not an act of destruction. It's an act of creation. It invites evolution, new connections, and unprecedented possibilities. There is a unique thrill in making a move that no authority or power could foresee. It exposes the illusion of control and demonstrates that influence is never absolute. When someone acts with creativity, courage, and conviction, even the most rigid systems tremble. This unpredictability becomes a force in itself, one that reshapes expectations and dynamics without direct conflict. Historically, unanticipated actions have rewritten civilizations. From revolutionary thinkers to unsung visionaries, the world is filled with individuals whose actions defied expectation. Their choices were often invisible to the authorities who assumed they understood every potential outcome. This illustrates a timeless truth. Anticipation is limited, while human creativity is infinite. Emotionally, these moments stir a mix of disbelief and admiration. Witnessing authority falter is both humbling and inspiring. For those daring to act, it's empowering, a validation that courage combined with imagination can surpass sheer power. It's a reminder that control is never permanent, and adaptability is the true mark of strength. The ripple effect of such a move extends far beyond the immediate moment. Others are inspired to rethink their own possibilities, to challenge assumptions, and to innovate. Societies evolve, institutions recalibrate, and individuals awaken to the potential of what was previously unimagined. Ultimately, this move underscores the essence of transformation. It is not about confrontation alone, but about vision. By stepping where no one anticipated, new realities are born, systems evolve, and life itself begins to operate on a higher level of consciousness. Even the most meticulous plans can crumble in the face of the unexpected. Systems built over centuries, authorities who pride themselves on foresight, and strategies designed to anticipate every contingency can all fail when confronted with true originality. This is the point where the illusion of invulnerability shatters, revealing the limits of preparation. When people cling too tightly to control, they often overlook the human element, the unpredictable creativity, intuition, and courage that cannot be modeled or predicted. No amount of foresight can account for a mind willing to redefine the rules entirely. This failure is not weakness. It is a reflection of the astonishing power of adaptability and imagination. Emotionally, the collapse of preparation carries a mix of shock and revelation. Authority figures, long seen as untouchable, realize their grasp is conditional. For those who act beyond expectation, there is a thrill that comes with witnessing the rigidity of control bend in response to a single decisive move. History echoes this truth repeatedly. Great breakthroughs, whether in science, social justice, or art, often emerge when the established order was convinced they had accounted for every possible outcome. When unexpected genius surfaces, it forces a recalibration that shifts the trajectory of entire societies. Ultimately, this moment reinforces a profound lesson. Preparation is valuable, but imagination and courage are transformative. When someone refuses to be constrained by even the most carefully constructed systems, the world is compelled to respond in kind, and evolution begins. Society, organizations, and even cosmic forces often assign roles, expecting everyone to play within predefined boundaries. Stepping beyond the role assigned is a radical act of courage. It challenges assumptions, surprises the expected, and forces a re-evaluation of what is possible. This is not rebellion for the sake of defiance, it is transformation through vision. Emotionally, stepping out of the expected role evokes fear and exhilaration simultaneously. Fear of the unknown, of judgment, or of failure is countered by the liberating sense of agency, the realization that one is no longer limited by expectations. It's in this tension that true creativity thrives. Every example in human history shows the power of transcending assigned roles. Innovators, pioneers, and visionaries often succeed not because they followed the rules, but because they ignored them. By daring to occupy a space no one else had imagined, they created movements, inventions, and ideas that changed the world. This act also has profound social implications. When someone refuses to conform, it opens the door for others to question their limitations. The ripple effect inspires growth, curiosity, and courage within communities, encouraging a collective evolution beyond rigidity. Strategy by nature is confined by rules, logic, and expectations, but transcendence exists beyond these limitations. When strategic thinking intersects with transcendent insight, outcomes become unpredictable and revolutionary. This combination unlocks the ability to reshape reality without conventional conflict. Emotionally, the fusion of strategy and transcendence is intoxicating. There is a sense of mastery without dominance, of control without coercion. It inspires awe and encourages others to explore the intersection of intellect and vision, where possibilities expand beyond imagination. In practical terms, examples abound. Scientists, artists, and leaders who combine methodical planning with visionary thinking consistently surpass limitations. They do not merely react, they transform the very framework in which action occurs. The impact is often invisible at first, yet unstoppable over time. Systems may resist, authority may hesitate, but the force of innovation, coupled with transcendent vision, inevitably reshapes the landscape. It is evolution in motion, and it begins with daring to think differently. Ultimately, this principle teaches that true power lies not just in calculated moves, but in the ability to see beyond constraints. When strategy embraces transcendence, the impossible becomes possible, and transformation flows naturally. Even the most formidable authority is conditional. It exists only within the framework that sustains it. When someone refuses to operate within that framework, the illusion of absolute control collapses. This exposure is both humbling and illuminating for those who depend on perceived power. Emotionally, witnessing authority falter is a mix of awe and liberation. For those challenging the system, it is exhilarating to see how fragile constructs of control can be when faced with courage and innovation. It serves as a reminder that strength is not always absolute. It is relational and adaptive. Historically, revolutions, social movements, and intellectual breakthroughs often reveal this truth. Authority derives its weight from compliance, not inevitability. When compliance ends, even the most entrenched powers are forced to adapt or fade. The social and emotional implications are profound. Observers learn that authority is not a permanent fixture. It is contingent on recognition, belief, and cooperation. When these are withdrawn, power dynamics shift dramatically, opening new avenues for transformation and growth. Ultimately, recognizing authority as conditional empowers individuals. It reminds us that we are not trapped by hierarchy, expectation, or control. Courage, innovation, and awareness can redefine what is possible in any environment. Absolute power appears invincible, yet its immobility is its greatest vulnerability. Rigid systems cannot adapt quickly, and their reliance on permanence becomes a fatal flaw when faced with transformative action. True power is not just force. It is flexibility, creativity, and adaptability. Emotionally, this realization evokes both fear and hope. For those bound by the system, it is intimidating to see how easily dominance can be disrupted. For the bold, it is empowering, a reminder that immovable authority can be outmaneuvered with vision and courage. History repeatedly demonstrates this principle. Empires, corporations, and institutions that once seemed untouchable have crumbled when confronted with new ideas, movements, or technologies that defy expectation. Absolute power cannot anticipate the unpredictable. The lesson extends beyond politics and institutions. In personal life, absolute control, whether over circumstances, relationships, or opportunities, is equally fragile. Flexibility, awareness, and adaptability often achieve more than sheer force ever could. Ultimately, the weakness of absolute power highlights a universal truth. Rigidity invites transformation, while adaptability ensures survival. Those who embrace evolution rather than dominance hold the true keys to lasting influence. The ability to evolve is perhaps the greatest advantage any individual or system can possess. While rigidity offers temporary security, evolution ensures survival, relevance, and growth. Those who adapt creatively shape reality rather than react to it. Emotionally, embracing evolution requires courage and vulnerability. It means letting go of familiar patterns, risking uncertainty, and trusting in the unknown. Yet the rewards, freedom, growth, and limitless potential far outweigh the fear. Examples are everywhere. Technological innovators, social reformers, and thought leaders who embrace change continually redefine what is possible. Their evolution allows them to respond to circumstances that would crush rigid institutions or individuals clinging to tradition. On a societal level, evolution drives progress. Communities that adapt, learn, and grow remain vibrant and resilient, while those resisting change stagnate or collapse. The personal lesson is equally powerful. In life, we can create immense impact by acting with clarity, courage, and awareness, without fighting or competing unnecessarily. Transformation can be gentle, yet unstoppable, reshaping circumstances with elegance and precision. Ultimately, the absence of conflict does not diminish the magnitude of change. On the contrary, it demonstrates that real power lies in vision, creativity, and courage, rather than force or confrontation. Control is often seen as the ultimate measure of power, yet there comes a moment when it simply ceases to matter. When someone moves beyond expected boundaries, authority and manipulation lose their grip, and the illusion of dominance fades. This moment is profound, both unsettling and liberating, as it reveals the true nature of influence. It is only effective when recognized, accepted, or obeyed. Emotionally, it is both shocking and exhilarating. Those accustomed to command feel vulnerability for the first time, while those who act beyond control experience an exhilarating sense of freedom. It is the exact point where creativity, courage, and vision become the new currency of power, rendering traditional methods obsolete. Examples of such moments are everywhere. In leadership, innovation, or social movements, a single disruptive idea can make bureaucracies, hierarchies, and rigid systems irrelevant overnight. When vision surpasses control, transformation occurs naturally, without resistance or conflict. On a personal level, this teaches a profound lesson. Obsessing over control can limit growth. True empowerment lies in action, awareness, and authenticity, not in dominating circumstances or people. When we act from vision rather than authority, the world responds in ways we could never predict. Ultimately, the irrelevance of control demonstrates that true power is not coercive. It is adaptive, intelligent, and creative. Those who embrace this understand that influence comes not from enforcing rules, but from inspiring change. When timeless authorities encounter something beyond their understanding, they are forced to rethink everything. Ancient powers, accustomed to permanence, suddenly face uncertainty and must adapt or risk obsolescence. This recalibration is both humbling and illuminating, revealing the limitations of even the most entrenched systems. Emotionally, this is a dramatic upheaval. The old order experiences vulnerability, while observers witness a profound shift in the balance of possibility. It is a moment filled with tension, awe, and the promise of new beginnings. There is both fear and hope in watching structures recalibrate under pressure they cannot control. Throughout history, similar moments occur when long-standing institutions are confronted by innovation or radical ideas. Societies, governments, and corporations have all had to rewrite the rules in response to unforeseen developments. These recalculations often spark progress and evolution that would otherwise have been impossible. The lesson extends to personal growth as well. When we challenge old beliefs or outdated patterns, we force not just ourselves, but those around us to reassess what is possible. Transformation is rarely comfortable, but it is essential for development and enlightenment. Ultimately, being forced to recalculate is not a failure. It is an opportunity. It signals the arrival of a new paradigm, where adaptability, awareness, and creativity redefine power and influence. Change creates new realities. When someone acts beyond expectation, the world itself must respond, establishing a new standard that cannot be ignored. Old assumptions, rules, and hierarchies become secondary as the universe recalibrates to the presence of possibility, awareness, and growth. Emotionally, this shift can feel both disorienting and liberating. For those used to stability, it is unsettling. For those embracing transformation, it is empowering. Life moves forward with a renewed sense of purpose, aligning itself with the principles of courage, innovation, and adaptability. From science to culture, examples abound. Paradigm-shifting discoveries, social reform, and transformative art have all adjusted reality in ways previously unimaginable. These changes become the new normal, setting standards that redefine expectations for generations to come. At a personal level, embracing this principle encourages us to trust in the fluidity of life. Circumstances evolve, perspectives shift, and opportunities arise when we remain open to new possibilities. By aligning with transformation rather than resisting it, we participate in the creation of new constants in our lives. Ultimately, reality is never fixed. Each bold action, each courageous decision, and each unexpected move contributes to the shaping of a world that reflects adaptability, awareness, and human potential. Sometimes, progress requires transcending conventional fairness. This decisive move transcends conventional strategies, expectations, and authority, creating transformation that no system could anticipate. It demonstrates the profound truth that one person, one decision, or one vision can ripple across existence in ways that defy comprehension. Emotionally, such moments are awe-inspiring. There is excitement, fear, liberation, and hope intertwined. Witnessing a fundamental shift reminds us that the world is not fixed and that even the most entrenched systems are responsive to courage, creativity, and insight. History is filled with transformative moments initiated by singular actions, innovations that changed societies, leaders who redefined governance, and movements that reshaped culture. These moments share a common thread. They were unexpected, impossible to control, and profoundly impactful. On a personal level, this principle is empowering. It reminds us that every choice matters, that courage matters, and that our actions, even small, brave steps, can resonate far beyond what we imagine. The capacity to inspire change resides in all of us, waiting to be exercised. Ultimately, the one move that changes everything is a testament to human potential. It shows that transformation is possible, that evolution is inevitable, and that courage, vision, and adaptability are the forces that truly shape reality. It is a celebration of possibility, awakening, and the enduring power of daring to act differently. At some point, even the most perfectly structured systems encounter an unforeseen variable. This is the moment when what was once seen as absolute dominance begins to crumble. The universe, in its meticulous order, faces a disruption it cannot immediately comprehend, reminding us that no matter how advanced or entrenched, nothing is truly invincible. Emotionally, this is breathtaking. There's awe at witnessing a shift so profound that the rules themselves seem to bend. For those daring to act beyond the ordinary, it is an exhilarating confirmation that creativity and courage can surpass even the most formidable constraints. Historically, in human experience, breakthroughs in science, philosophy, and society often mirror this phenomenon. When new discoveries challenge entrenched assumptions, entire frameworks must be rebuilt. The advantage once held by predictability disappears, forcing evolution and adaptation. This teaches a vital lesson. Reliance on status or certainty is limiting. True growth and power emerge from flexibility, vision, and the willingness to respond to what cannot be anticipated. The universe, like life, rewards innovation and adaptability over rigid control. Ultimately, losing advantage is not defeat. It is the spark for transformation. It signals the birth of possibility, demonstrating that when the unexpected arrives, only those who evolve thrive. Prediction gives a sense of security. Systems rely on it, strategies are built around it, and power assumes it is absolute. But what happens when the most trusted forecasts fail? When certainty evaporates into uncertainty, the world shifts, and so do the rules that govern it. Emotionally, this is disorienting, yet liberating. Fear and excitement coexist, as familiar ground disappears and opportunity emerges in the chaos. Those willing to navigate uncertainty gain a rare advantage, the ability to act beyond expectation. Real-world examples abound. Entrepreneurs who launch during volatile times, scientists exploring untested theories, or leaders guiding communities through crises, all harness uncertainty as a catalyst for innovation. Chaos becomes the playground for vision and courage. At a personal level, embracing unpredictability strengthens resilience. Life is rarely linear, and the ability to move confidently without a clear map is a skill that ensures progress, growth, and transformation. Predictability may comfort, but adaptability empowers. Ultimately, when prediction collapses, uncertainty is not a threat, it is an invitation. It challenges assumptions, fosters creativity, and ignites transformation on levels that rigid systems can never achieve. Even the most dominant hierarchies are vulnerable to the unforeseen. Structures built to command and control often assume that all variables are accounted for. But human ingenuity, adaptability, and courage often defy expectation, confronting authority with the unthinkable. Emotionally, it is a humbling moment for those in power. Confidence turns to caution, and the illusion of invincibility gives way to awareness of limits. For observers and innovators, it is exhilarating, a chance to redefine influence and reshape possibilities. History is rich with these instances. Social revolutions, scientific discoveries, and disruptive innovations frequently challenged entrenched authorities, forcing recalculations and shifts that reverberate for generations. No structure, no matter how ancient or fortified, is impervious to unexpected insight or action. Experientially, the recognition of these boundaries is humbling, but also liberating, as it reveals that true power lies not in control, but in adaptability, awareness, and courage. Emotionally, this moment is intense. Those in power may feel vulnerability, while observers and innovators experience exhilaration and possibility, sensing that new avenues are now open. Historical examples include technological revolutions that rendered traditional industries obsolete, or political shifts that redefined governance. In every case, authority confronted its limits and had to adapt or dissolve. For individuals, recognizing limits encourages self-awareness and growth. It teaches that influence is not absolute and that flexibility and creativity are often more powerful than rigid control. Ultimately, authority's realization of limits highlights a universal truth. Growth emerges when power becomes responsive rather than domineering. adaptive rather than absolute. Some choices carry weight beyond the immediate moment. They echo, ripple, and resonate across time and space. These decisions, rooted in vision and courage, have the power to redefine entire systems and shift trajectories. Emotionally, this is awe-inspiring. The magnitude of a decision, its resonance, and its consequences evoke wonder, fear, and excitement simultaneously. Historically, life-altering decisions, from bold social reforms to groundbreaking scientific discoveries, illustrate this principle. The effects of these choices extend far beyond the individuals who made them. On a personal level, understanding the potential resonance of our choices encourages thoughtful courage. Even small, intentional actions can produce ripple effects that influence lives, communities, and outcomes far beyond immediate perception. Ultimately, the decision that echoes across reality is a testament to human potential. Vision, courage, and purpose amplify choice into transformation. Change is not a threat, it is a constant invitation. Every system, every expectation, and every limitation exists only until someone dares to act beyond it. Transformation begins in the space where courage meets vision, and the impossible becomes inevitable. The power to evolve, to act decisively, and to create impact resides within each of us. Authority, control, and rigid structures are never the ultimate measure of influence. Adaptability, awareness, and authenticity are. Every unexpected move, every bold decision, and every choice that defies expectation reshapes the world. History, society, and life itself reward those who embrace uncertainty, act with clarity, and pursue growth relentlessly. This journey is not only external, it is deeply personal. Transformation begins by challenging your own limits, questioning what you've been taught to accept, and daring to step beyond the roles assigned to you. Ultimately, the message is simple, yet profound. Courage, creativity, and vision are the forces that define reality. The moment you act from purpose and authenticity, you no longer play by the old rules. You write your own, and in doing so, inspire the world around you. As you reflect on this journey, remember that you are capable of more than you've been told. Every challenge is an opportunity, every limitation a doorway, and every expectation a stepping stone towards something greater. Embrace the unknown with curiosity, the unexpected with confidence, and the impossible with courage. The universe, the systems around you, and even your own doubts are not barriers. They are invitations to evolve. Carry this understanding into your daily life. Each action, decision, and choice matters. You have the power to shift perspectives, transform outcomes, and create impact that reaches far beyond what you imagine. Walk forward, knowing that influence is not about dominance. It is about vision. Not about control. It is about adaptability. Not about certainty. It is about courage. When you act from this place, you become a force of transformation. And finally, remember this: the world waits for those willing to move beyond expectation, to act beyond fear, and to create beyond limitation. Your presence, your decisions, and your courage can reshape reality itself.